Hey folks, it's Dave. I'm doing a VR today for uh, John at John P. Collects Cards. John has just passed 1,000 subs, which to me is unbelievable. Not unbelievable that John himself could do that, but for me it seemed like a really big number. And so congrats to you, John. And before I get into the video, I'd just like to uh, extend best wishes to Orlando. Saw his video earlier this week and really heartrending, but also saw his message, I think yesterday maybe, where he has come through successfully the surgery. So I guess it's a mending process, and I'm wishing you all the best, Orlando. And so I'm going to get into this video in a second here. But before I do, I'd like to shout out a couple of people here. One is a channel called Goodman and West 238th. I'll show the handle down below here uh, at W 238th Street. Um, Interesting channel. Just came across him. He has some really interesting content, very creative, shows some South American cards and some other things. I think you ought to give him a shout. And the other person I'd like to shout out is he doesn't have a channel, and it's Edison. Lives in California, formerly from the Seattle area. And Edison had asked that I send him one of my cards, and I've been pushing these. Anybody who wants one, email me and I'll send one. I have a blue back and a red black back. And there's the QR code. But I normally when I send the cards out, I send I basically call them trinkets, things of not much value, things for maybe some cards that are of the requester's favorite team. Again, not much value. But in the mail, I received here um, a couple of weeks ago. I was actually on my Strongsville trip, so I didn't get it immediately, but um, he sent me a couple of, they're a little bit, Rube Waddell, baseball great, Hall of Fame uh, card. I don't know much about these, but anyway, what a great gift. I really do love these. We go, Tris Speaker. So, uh, Edison, thank you. I'll put your handle down below here. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but anyway, thank you. Really appreciate that. So, what we're going to do now is get into John's requested subject of the VR. He asks, what players would we have liked to have seen play back in their day? So what I tried to do was um, capture the careers that span as much of the duration of the MLB as I could back into the 1800s. And I have not picked anything beyond 1960 because as a boy, I can remember watching some of the games on TV. Not that I remember very much about it, but for example, whenever Mickey Mantle would come up to the plate, I would stop and I would have to watch Mickey Mantle hit. And they do the same thing today. When Aaron Judge comes up, I have to stop and watch him. When Reggie Jackson used to come up, I'd have to stop and watch him. Same thing with Ohtani and Bryce Harper and some of the other big hitters of today. They're just fun to watch, and I was the same way back then. So what I'm going to do is I have selected 9 players. I might cheat just a little bit there, and the 9 players will be one for each position on the field. And so let me turn the camera around and show those. So here, what I've shown on the screen behind are each of the players from catcher through the outfielders and the approximate time period when each of these players played. Let me show you the cards I have. I don't have playing days cards. I don't think of any of these. Well, actually only one, but I'll show you that when I get to it. So the first I'm showing is Josh Gibson. Josh Gibson did not ever play in the major leagues, but he spent several years playing for the Negro National League teams. He played from 1930 to 1946, the year before Jackie Robinson broke in. And he died the next year in January 1947. On his Hall of Fame plaque, it says that he hit nearly 800 home runs. Now, what they have in Baseball Reference only references his Negro Leagues games, and so there are not many of those documented. But if you were to take those stats, he has a 214 OPS plus. If you looked at 162 game seasons, he would have extrapolate that out to 45 home runs a year and 197 RBIs a year. So Josh Gibson. Next card I'm going to show, the next player is Walter Johnson. And what I have here is obviously one of the Reindeer Studio cards of the big train. Love this card. Walter Johnson played from 1907 to 1927. His WAR was 155, which is really unbelievable. And he had 417 wins and 279 losses in his career. His ERA plus was 147. So think of your average player of 100. He's about 1.5 times what a average player was for the era. Played his entire career with the Washington Nationals. He could have had other pitchers, Cy Young, Satchel Paige, Christy Mathewson, but decided to go with Walter Johnson. It'd be so awesome to see him pitch. The next player I'm doing is Lou Gehrig. We all know the story of Lou Gehrig. Played his entire career with the Yankees, had 114 career WAR with 179 OPS plus. He played from 1923 to 1939 and died of ALS, the disease that was named after him, in 1941. And I think if I saw games that he played, I would get for free games in which Babe Ruth played. So I'm going to call Babe Ruth my DH here. And Babe Ruth was the greatest offensive player ever in terms of statistics. 183 lifetime WAR, 206 OPS plus, playing from 1914 to 1935. So seeing Gehrig and Ruth in the same game, that would be just an awesome sight. At second base, I'm going with Rogers Hornsby. Rogers played 13 years of his career with St. Louis Cardinals. His career was from 1915 to 1937. Then after the Cardinals, he played with 4 other teams. But he had a lifetime WAR of 127 and OPS plus of 175. At third base, I'm going to put Jackie Robinson. And Jackie actually played some third base, so I'm not cheating too bad here. We know the value of Jackie Robinson in his career, um, and what he meant to Major League Baseball. Here is his 1956 Topps card, a gift from my son, and love this card. Uh, Jackie spent 1942 through 1944 serving in World War II with the Army. In 1945, after that, he played for the Kansas City Monarchs in the Negro Leagues. Broke in with the Dodgers in April 1947, spent 10 seasons with the Dodgers through the 1956 season. What you have to realize about Jackie is when he broke in with the Dodgers, he was 28 years old. So he was at the tail end of his career, actually, when he was breaking in, maybe the prime to the tail end of his career, age 28 to age 37. Won the Rookie of the Year award, won an MVP award, was on the MVP ballot and got votes in 8 of the 10 seasons he played, had 133 OPS plus. And at shortstop, I would love to see Honus Wagner. These are the 1961 Fleer cards. That Rogers Hornsby was also that. Honus played from 1897 to 1917, had a career 131 WAR and a 151 OPS plus. He broke in with the Louisville Colonels of the National League, played 3 years there, and then 18 years with the Pirates. A very, very good shortstop. In the outfield, the first one I'm going to show is Shoeless Joe Jackson. This is another Reindeer Studio card from Scott. Joe Jackson broke in 1908 and played through 1920, the year he was banned from baseball. Broke in with the Athletics, played with the Indians and then the White Sox. His lifetime WAR was 62, and that was in 9 full seasons and 4 part seasons, and 170 OPS plus. The next card I'd like to show and player is Ty Cobb. Another Reindeer Studios card. Ty Cobb played from 1905 to 1928. Played 22 years with the Tigers and 2 years with the Athletics. He had a 151 lifetime WAR, 168 OPS plus. He won 12 batting titles and 6 stolen base titles. If you look at his baseball reference, you know that the black letter are where he leads the league, and his baseball reference page is just nothing but black lettering, meaning he was the best. And besides for that, I think I showed this card with some of my Strongsville pickups. I visited the Ty Cobb Museum in Royston, Georgia, and I picked up this card there. Just a good, shows the grip he had, and that would have been a wonderful thing to see him play. And my last card takes me back further into the 1800s, and this is Sam Thompson. Sam Thompson, that's a namesake of mine. He played from 1885 to 1898, and then actually in 1906 he came back and played 8 more games, but basically his entire career was in the 1800s. He played the first 4 years with the Detroit Wolverines, National League, and then 10 years with the Phillies, had a 44 lifetime WAR and a 147 OPS plus. I just would have be so interesting to see how the game was played back in those days with such different equipment and different rules. But that's it. That's who I would love to see play. Those 9 players, plus Babe Ruth, along with Gehrig. I know it's cheating a little bit, John, but I hope you let it slide. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Y'all come back now. Here.